Hello, my name is Dr. Mark Ponzo, Professor of Trumpet here at Northern Illinois University, and today I'm going to play for you and discuss the audition etudes for the ILMEA Cycle 3. We're going to start today with Arbon etude number 12, which is the technical etude. There are three areas of concern in this particular etude. The first is the interval patterns in the beginning and the ending of the etude. So the best way to practice this is to isolate the melody first and practice that. If you could refer to the performance idea PDF file that is attached to this video, the first line outlines the melody of both of these sections. First in the low octave, and that helps us to establish the exact pitch reference from one note to the next. Then play it up the octave, which is how it's used in the etude. And what Arbon does here is he takes that melodic line and writes a harmonic part which creates the interval pattern. So the next thing you should practice is just the harmony part, which is the second line of the handout. Then, of course, the next step would be to put these two elements together in a slower form so we can really feel the set for each of the pitches. This is line 3 of the handout. Now, once you have established good accuracy with those pitches, The next step would be to slur the notes together, starting with the top pitch, as in line 4. And the final step would be to slur the whole pattern together. The next area of concern is the rhythm that begins in line 7. Many students will confuse the triplet 16th notes and the 16th note pattern, often playing 2 32nd notes followed by 3 16th notes. Make sure that you subdivide this into 8th notes and pulse an 8th note per group. It's important to feel the subdivision of the 8th note as you're playing the pattern. Da 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 da, and so on. And it's best to practice that slowly with a metronome. The last big area of concern is at the very end of the etude. The last 2.5 lines do not offer an opportunity to take a breath. And if you're not able to take a breath large enough to get from the beginning F to the end, there's an alternate that you can use. It's not ideal, but it's far better than having difficulty with supporting your sound and accuracy of pitch. So what I recommend, if it's difficult for you, is to play it in this fashion. This is the last 2.5 lines of the etude. So by playing down to the F, taking a breath, and re-entering at the F, at least we stay in a context of time. Again, it's not ideal, but it allows you the chance to play musically and accurately to the end of the etude. The lyrical etude this year for Cycle 3 is the theme from Arbon's Fantasy Brillante. Now in the lyrical etude, the biggest concern most students have is the gruppetto, which is built on the E in the beginning and the end of the etude. If you look at the bottom line of the handout, you will see how the gruppetto is written out in the actual solo piece, and the next measure shows how we realize it on the instrument. And of course, the biggest issue in the lyrical etude is trying to be musical, trying to create dynamic contrast and shape. We don't have a lot of technical challenges in the lyrical etude, so in order to distinguish yourself, it's really important to consider the dynamic contrast, the shape of the phrases, and be as expressive as possible. I hope that the hints and performance have been helpful as you prepare for your ILMEA audition coming up in just a few weeks. Remember to record yourself often, listen back to your performances, start slowly, always work with a metronome. Please feel free to visit the School of Music website at www.niu.edu. Once again, thank you for viewing.